Hollywood's golden age was a shimmering illusion, where dreams were sold on screen, but secrets were hidden in silence. Behind the perfectly crafted images of classic movie stars, many lived double lives, concealing their true identities to protect their careers. Being openly gay during this time wasn't just risky, it was a potential death sentence for fame. These 21 stars helped define cinema, but few knew the real battles they were fighting behind the camera. And the truth they hid, it changes everything you thought you knew. Number 1. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino was one of Hollywood's first true heartthrobs, but his personal life became as much a subject of gossip as his films. His 2 failed marriages raised suspicions, and rumors swirled about his close relationships with men, especially French actor Jean Ael. Though he denied being gay, his effeminate mannerisms only fueled the speculation. Some biographers claimed he was straight, while others suggested a much more complicated truth. And in the end, the whispers never really faded. Number 2. Will Geer. Will Geer may be best remembered as Grandpa on the Waltons, but off-camera, his life was far more complex. In the 1930s, he was romantically involved with gay rights activist Harry Hay. Though he later married and had children, his sexuality was no secret to those around him. Balancing family, activism, and his quiet truth, Geer managed to keep one foot in the public spotlight and one carefully tucked in the shadows. Number 3. Liberace. Liberace dazzled the world with his rhinestone suits and flamboyant piano performances, but his private life was locked behind a velvet curtain. Despite widespread rumors and even a lawsuit filed by his partner Scott Thorson, Liberace publicly insisted he was straight. He gave interviews about his dream woman and leaned into the illusion, but when he passed away in 1987 from complications related to AIDS, the mask fell, and the public finally saw what he had spent a lifetime hiding. Number 4. Sir John Gielgud. Sir John Gielgud was one of Britain's greatest actors, and in 1953 he was arrested for importuning for immoral purposes, a phrase that often meant one thing: being caught as a gay man. Though the scandal could have ended his career, Gielgud pressed on, letting his legendary stage performances do the talking. His sexuality was an open secret in theater circles, but he never publicly addressed it during his lifetime. Number 5. Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero charmed audiences as Latin lovers and flamboyant villains, most famously as the Joker in the 1960s Batman series. He never married, and despite being linked to several female stars, rumors of his homosexuality followed him throughout his life. Romero kept his private affairs quiet, never confirming anything, but those close to the industry believed they knew the truth behind the polished smile. Number 6. Raymond Burr. Raymond Burr was the face of justice as Perry Mason, but behind the scenes, he built an entirely fictional backstory to shield his reality. He told the public he had a wife and a child who both passed away, neither of whom actually existed. After his death, it was revealed that he had been in a 35-year relationship with another man, Robert Benavides. The truth only came out once Burr was gone. Number 7. Tony Randall. Tony Randall delighted fans in The Odd Couple, but for years, his soft-spoken style and bachelor lifestyle drew speculation. Though he was married to his first wife for 50 years, the rumors never fully faded. After she passed, Randall shocked many by marrying a much younger woman and fathering 2 children, yet whispers about his orientation remained a footnote in his legacy. Number 8. James Mitchell. James Mitchell was best known for playing Palmer Cortland on All My Children, but off-screen, he was far more private. He shared a 39-year relationship with costume designer Albert Volsky, a love few fans ever knew about during his lifetime. Though he never publicly came out, Mitchell's colleagues and friends quietly acknowledged the long-term partnership that defined much of his personal life. Number 9. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was a tragic Hollywood heartthrob, battling personal demons while starring in films like A Place in the Sun and From Here to Eternity. His sexuality was a constant source of inner turmoil, and though he had relationships with both men and women, he never came out publicly. Close friends, including Elizabeth Taylor, knew the truth, but Clift died young, forever remembered as a brilliant, tortured soul. Number 10. George Nader. George Nader's career was on the rise in the 1950s until rumors about his sexuality began to circulate. Though he never confirmed anything publicly, he spent over 5 decades living openly with his partner, Mark Miller. His close friendship with Rock Hudson only added fuel to the speculation. Eventually, Nader stepped back from acting and quietly focused on writing, choosing privacy over the Hollywood spotlight. Number 11. Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin was a television powerhouse, best known for creating Jeopardy! And Wheel of Fortune, but behind the cameras, rumors about his sexuality never quite went away. Despite multiple lawsuits and persistent speculation, Griffin never publicly addressed his orientation. He had close relationships with both men and women, but his private life stayed just that, private. Even after his death in 2007, the mystery surrounding his personal relationships remained a quiet part of his legacy. Number 12. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was the ultimate leading man, handsome, masculine, and adored by millions. But the image was a carefully constructed lie. He entered into a marriage of convenience and carried out his relationships with men in secrecy. When he was diagnosed with AIDS in 1984, the news stunned the world and forced his sexuality into the spotlight. His death in 1985 didn't just mark the loss of a star, it shifted the conversation around AIDS and outed one of the biggest names in Hollywood history. Number 13. Kerwin Matthews. Kerwin Matthews brought fantasy to life in movies like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, but he never publicly addressed his sexuality during his Hollywood years. After leaving the industry in the late 1960s, he moved to San Francisco, where he lived quietly with his partner Tom Nichol for over 46 years. Matthews preferred a life away from cameras and questions, allowing those closest to him to know the truth while the public remained in the dark. Number 14. Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde was known for his sarcastic wit and flamboyant personality on shows like Hollywood Squares, but his sexuality was never officially acknowledged. In private, Lynde was openly gay among friends, yet kept that part of himself hidden from the public. Behind the humor, he wrestled with alcoholism and the pain of living in the closet. Though he made people laugh for decades, the truth behind the jokes was far more complicated. Number 15. Jack Cassidy. Jack Cassidy was a charming performer both on stage and on screen, but his personal life was filled with turmoil. While married to actress Shirley Jones, rumors of his bisexuality surfaced, rumors supported by his known relationships with both men and women. Cassidy struggled with addiction and mental health issues, and despite the speculation, never publicly addressed his orientation. He died tragically in a house fire in 1976, leaving behind a legacy marked by both brilliance and chaos. Number 16. Charles Gray. Charles Gray, who played iconic villains like Blofeld in the James Bond films and the criminologist in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, kept his personal life far from the spotlight. Though he never spoke publicly about his sexuality, it was widely understood in industry circles that he was gay. Off-camera, Gray was intensely private, avoiding media attention and letting his role speak for him until his death in 2000. Number 17. George Maharis. George Maharis rose to fame in the 1960s with the TV series Route 66, but his career took a major hit after his 1967 arrest for public lewd conduct with another man. The incident exposed his sexuality to the public and caused irreparable damage to his reputation. Although Maharis continued to act afterward, he never regained the momentum he once had. He retreated into a quieter life, never publicly addressing the scandal that changed everything. Number 18. Roddy McDowall. Roddy McDowall captivated audiences in Planet of the Apes and How Green Was My Valley, but he remained intensely private about his personal life. Though he never publicly came out, his sexuality was considered an open secret in Hollywood. He never married and was a respected member of the LGBTQ+ community, known for his professionalism, kindness, and refusal to feed the rumor mill. He passed away in 1998, beloved by those who knew both the actor and the man. Number 19. Nigel Hawthorne. Nigel Hawthorne, the award-winning British actor from The Madness of King George and Yes, Minister, only publicly acknowledged his sexuality later in life, after being outed by the British press during the 1995 Academy Awards. He had spent over 20 years with his partner Trevor Bentham but kept their relationship under wraps for most of his career. Hawthorne handled the forced outing with dignity and continued working until his death in 2001. Number 20. James Coco. James Coco, known for his larger-than-life personality and comedic charm in films like Only When I Laugh and The Muppets Take Manhattan, never publicly came out as gay, but those in his inner circle were well aware. He was a beloved figure in the industry, and while he avoided public discussion of his personal life, his authenticity and talent left a lasting impression. Number 21. Dick Sargent. Dick Sargent was the second actor to play Darren Stevens on Bewitched, and in 1991, long after the show had ended, he came out publicly as gay. It was a brave move at the time, and he used his platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, especially around HIV/AIDS awareness. Though he kept his sexuality hidden for much of his career, His decision to live openly in his later years helped pave the way for others in the industry to do the same. These stars lit up the screen with their talent, but the truths they carried off-screen were often hidden out of fear. In a world that demanded perfection and punished difference, they found ways to survive, succeed, and love, quietly. And while some never spoke their truth aloud, their stories speak volumes today. Because sometimes, the most powerful performances happen when the cameras stop rolling.